Hello and welcome. My name is Chad Corradini, and today I'm going to provide you with detailed and easy to follow instructions on how to complete the 3 assessments needed to create your personal functional training program. Please wear a t-shirt, shorts or tight leggings, socks and lace-up shoes or bare feet for all 3 assessments. Let's get started. The first assessment is the gait analysis. For this assessment, you will need a smartphone or a video camera and access to a flat, open area. Position the camera at waist height on a bench or a chair. You can use a small tripod like this one, or just use something to lean your phone against. Begin recording and walk about 15 steps. Stop and immediately turn around and walk back. I want you to walk down and back, and then down and back again. It does not have to be an exact distance or an exact number of steps. When you are finished, stop the recording. The second assessment is the overhead squat. For this assessment, you will need a smartphone and either a dowel or a broom. Begin standing with your feet shoulder width apart, holding the dowel or broom handle in a wide grip. When standing in this position, the video should capture both your feet and the top of your head. Don't worry about your arms. They will come into view as you squat down. Bring the dowel up over your head. Test to make sure you can bring it down to your shoulders without hitting the back of your head. Now, sit your hips back and down into a squat. Attempt to keep your heels on the ground and your torso as upright as possible. Squat 2 times facing the camera. Now, turn 90 degrees to the right and execute 2 more overhead squats. Next, turn to your right again and face away from the camera. Execute 2 squats facing away from the camera. Finally, turn to the right and execute 2 final overhead squats, and then stop the recording. The final assessment is low core activation. You will not be filming this time, simply follow along with this video. Begin lying on your back with your legs bent and your feet flat. Find your navel with one hand. With your other hand, place the fingernail of your middle finger underneath the lumbar spine to support your low back, directly under your navel. Lift your finger up and feel the bone of the spine to make sure you are in the right place. If you have a shoulder condition that does not allow you to position your hand under your own lower back, have someone assist you. Activate your low core by drawing your navel down towards the front of your spine while you stiffen the muscles of your abdominal wall, pressing the test finger firmly into the mat. Do so without holding your breath. Ladies, it can help to begin the contraction with a Kegel. Men, it can help to begin the contraction by imagining that you are urinating and then have to stop midstream. Successful activation of the low core muscles will feel like a steady and firm pressure down into the assessing fingertip and into the mat below. A successful attempt requires you to maintain steady, firm pressure for 5 breaths. It is natural to take relatively shallow breaths while activating your low core muscles. Make sure that you are not tilting your pelvis in order to flatten out your spine. This does not constitute a successful attempt. If you can maintain the activation for 5 breaths in this position, you have successfully completed level 1. Level 2 is exactly the same contraction, but with your feet off the ground, your knees positioned directly over your hips, and your knees bent at 45 degrees. If you can maintain the contraction for 5 breaths, you have successfully completed level 2. Level 3 is exactly the same contraction. Begin in the same position as level 2. Your feet off the ground, your knees positioned directly over your hips, and your knees bent at 45 degrees. Now, slowly drop one heel to touch the floor without moving your other leg. Repeat on the other side. If you can maintain the contraction throughout both heel drops, you have successfully completed level 3. Make sure that you are not bringing your other knee up past 90 degrees from the floor while you drop the other heel to the ground. Level 4 is exactly the same contraction, but with your feet off the ground, your knees positioned directly over your hips, and your knees bent at 45 degrees. Slowly drop both heels to touch the floor simultaneously, and then return to the starting position. If you can maintain the contraction throughout this movement, you have successfully completed level 4. Level 5 is exactly the same contraction, but with your feet off the ground, your knees positioned directly over your hips and your knees bent at 90 degrees. Slowly drop both heels to touch the floor simultaneously and then return to the starting position. If you can maintain the contraction throughout this movement, you have completed level 5. That's it. Just send us the video of you walking, the video of you squatting, and tell us how you did on the low core assessment, and we will have everything we need to complete your personalized functional training program. Thank you for watching. Blessings.